You ever wonder what's real and what's just smoke in the wind? Down here in Texas, we've heard the whispers. They say a president fell in Dallas and the truth got buried with him. They say men walked on the moon, but some folks swear it was all lights and cameras. There's talk of secret deals in desert towns, of flying saucers hiding where the tumbleweeds roll. They say the truth is out there, but out here under these white Texas skies, we know the truth ain't free. It's locked up tight behind steel doors and silver tongues. So saddle up, 'cause tonight we're diving deep. Dust on the highway, neon signs glow, stories in the shadows that nobody knows. From the oil fields to the old ghost towns, truth rides the wind, but it never slows down. Deep dive facts, where the shadows talk back. In the heart of Texas, truth rides the cracks. Dig through the dirt, past the lies and the tracks. We're chasing down secrets. Deep dive facts. They talk about.
Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to Beyond the Box. I got something for you, Denise. Hang on. Oh, there you go, Denise. There's your pootie. He's been laying on the bed over here snoring his head off. Huh?
Yes.
Bedhead. Yeah, bedhead. Yeah, Chad heard him. Chad's like, I thought I heard something over there. You gonna say hi? No? Are you mad at me because I picked you up? Oh, go get in your go get in your bed, Grumpy. Get in your new bed. Come on, get up.
He likes this new bed.
He does. He does. So, Chad, how have you been?
Oh, I've been doing pretty good, thank you. I've been hanging in there. Busy just because of the season and a few other things. You know, I help my mother out a little bit, and she's getting older, and so you know, a lot of my time is dedicated there.
Oh yeah, understandable. Sherry, how are you today?
Doing good. I went for a workout and we showed up late and didn't know. And one of the ladies, because there are a lot of elderly people that go there and work out, and I guess one of them fell and she bashed her head, but she's okay. And yeah, I didn't see it, but you know, but she sat there and then went for a nice hike in the woods. Well, kind of wooded area, and so that was fun. And then just kind of sat at home, thought I had someplace to go, and then found out that they weren't there, so I just sat until we showed up here.
I guess your weather's getting better then. You're out there hiking in the woods.
Yeah, yesterday I did it and went into a new place, and I have my grandson's grandpa that goes with me. My daughter-in-law's dead, and we were going through these trails, and then we were on like two tracks, and I'm like, I don't know where we're at. And he started getting worrisome and everything. I wasn't worried. I mean, because I knew where the highway was, and I knew where this was, and I'm like, we're fine. We just popped out at some other area, and so we got to walk this way back to the car and stuff.
I wonder if he was thinking that you were trying to get him lost in the woods.
He was getting nervous. He really was.
Oh my gosh!
Took a picture of the map and was pulling it up and stuff. And I'm like, it's okay. I'm good at navigating. I know my directions. So I've never been here, but we'll be all right.
Internal clock.
Yeah.
So tonight we are going to do a show on the what is it? The Torrid?
Shrouded Turin.
Okay, yeah. I don't know why I can't say that. That's horrible. But there's a lot of controversy about it, whether it's real, whether it's not real. Um, what is it that made the form, uh, and all of that. So, Chad over here
Mhm.
has been digging into that to find out um, stuff about it so that we can bring it to you here. And then, you guys, I can't tell anybody how to think one way or another. So we just bring it to you and you make your own discernments on it and we leave it at that. so what do you know there, Chad?
Yeah. Well, what was originally claimed is that the carbon dating on it was from the medieval times or something like that, the 1200s, and so the Catholic Church has denied it and still denies it. And there's been a lot of other testing that's been done on it since then, and a lot of other things that have come through because of AI. And we got some videos of that, where it interprets what it sees.
Yeah. AI can be a thorn in all of
Mhm.
our backs because of all this stuff. I mean, but that was
Um,
actually brought out before, wasn't it? Before AI started getting involved in all of that.
Yeah. They had a thing on the History Channel, and they had some scientists and researchers that went through testing too. Wasn't it like just the corner of it, Chad? That
yeah, because
testing.
yeah, exactly what they did. What this is it's a shroud, and so it was like a long piece of material. It was 14 feet and 4 inches long, and about 3 feet and 7 inches wide. And so you'd put the body onto the shroud or the material, and you would fold it over them like this. So it's going to
Oh,
be
okay.
wrapped around them, and then on the side. And then there was also at one point a hood put over the face of him, and we'll talk about that as well. I do not know how to pronounce that name, and I apologize. It is a hood, though. Now, the shroud is called the Shroud of Turin because of where it was kept. It was kept in Turin. So, but it's believed that the shroud was actually the shroud that covered Jesus, and is evidence and proof of his resurrection. Um, and there seems to be a lot of things supporting that now that we can discuss. Because like you said, it was kept for a long time, since his crucifixion. um, and so it's been handled, it's been touched, it's been through 3 fires. It's had water on it because of the fires. People used to protect it and hold it would give out pieces of it as gifts to their loved ones and stuff like that. And so the corner was replaced, the upper corner. So this shroud went to go be tested, carbon dated by 11 scientists. Only 3 of them out of the 11, why we don't know, tested it. I have a feeling this is something they want to keep secret, so I'm not going to say I don't know. But 3 out of the 11 scientists tested it, and they tested that exact corner that they were asked not to. The corner that was hand
Repaired.
sewn and repaired, in the
Yeah.
fish.
Oh no,
Oh,
you got popped off.
he'll be back.
I mean, he was really getting into it too.
I know, right? There he is.
There you go. Welcome back, Chad. You were
Thank
getting
you.
into it.
I was saying it was a herringbone weave.
Yeah,
Ah,
there
The
you
linen.
go.
And so and because of what happened, they say he didn't receive, um I don't know what the way they worded it. He received a proper burial, but it wasn't, but it was rushed. like everything was done kind of proper, but they had to rush it because in their religion, you have to be buried before sundown. And he died on the cross at 3, and sundown was at 6. And so he was wrapped into this. What happened, from what I understand, is there was a hood put over him because of the bleeding and everything.
Yeah.
Because when they put the thorn of crowns on him, it was a helmet, and
Right.
these thorns are very long, and they have to put it on with a hammer because they have to hit it over your head. And he had 50 puncture wounds just from that alone. And so that was thrown in the corner of his tomb, and the shroud was then put over him like that. And what's interesting is they were stored in 2 different places, and the blood on both of them match, and they're AB. And that's the rarest blood form type that there is. AB. Yep,
Baby.
AB. And I have a lot of people in the SSP community thinking they're from the Jesus lineage because they're O negative, but according to this, he's an AB.
Yeah.
And
I'm
He was
AB
so
negative.
yeah,
I'm AB negative. Yeah.
you know, and so that's pretty interesting that we would know his blood type. But what's interesting is
Yeah.
on the shroud, there's an image. Okay, so there's an image you can see with the naked eye that's been imposed on there,
Imprinted.
imprinted. Yeah, because they've done the
to the cloth. Yeah.
because when you do the research into it, it's not an ink, it's not a paint. It is literally that. Let me find 34 trillion watts of light, or went through Jesus in 1/40 trillionth of a second. And in order to do that fast, so it's got to be extremely strong, like as strong as a nuclear blast almost, and shorter than 1/trillionth of a or 1/40th billionth of a second. I got things popping up on my screen. Excuse me. And that changed the chemical molecular structure of the fibers of the linen on a chemical level. Didn't scorch it, but changed the chemicals, and it's only a few microns thin, so it's just paper thin. It's not even all the way through the material.
Wow.
And that light emanated out of a body, not into a body. So it emanated out of his body. And what is told is that in these tombs, like I think Thomas it was, or somebody allowed him in his family tomb, and he was buried there. And if I'm wrong with that, I apologize. But
I think you're right.
a huge rock was put in front of it, very heavy. And back then,
Right.
women were not very tall, neither were men. You know, but these women who were to clean up the blood and do everything were coming back the next morning to clean him up and do things properly. And the rock was blown away from the door. So did this light that was emanating from him that brought him back to life,
Blow that rock out.
allegedly, you know, I don't want to
Yeah.
force any beliefs on anyone, but you know, this is quite a miracle thing that happened. The AB blood, the light coming out of the body at such an intensity that nothing could create it in our understanding. And could that be the thing that knocked the stone away? Because when the women, you know, returned, they were there. Now, a few things that show up on the Shroud of Turin, so we know it's just not any crucifixion or just anybody that was resurrected somehow. It's because of the stories and all the evidence we have into Jesus. You know, there's as much evidence into him as there is into somebody else from the past that we believe in. You know, I'm not a
Right.
history buff, but
Yeah.
whoever. But okay, so there's enough written material on him, and what's interesting is it shows up on the shroud. They can count up to 700 wounds applied to his torso, and they said it's on every square inch. So that means private parts and everything. Okay, they just took
Wow.
no discretion, and they were beating him all the way to the cross, right? So and these alleged flogs had 3 leather straps. They were short, and oftentimes at the end of them was either a metal ball, bone fragments, or sharp pieces of material. And they would just, and so that's what showed up. So whoever this is that got covered by this was being crucified and was tied. I meant carrying the cross and being flogged. So,
To answer your question, Denise, yeah, I would say that that's what it was. His frequency and vibration from his body, because we all have, our bodies are energy and frequency and all of that. So yeah, I just think to be able to blow that big boulder off, it would have had to been some intense energy, high intense.
they
He
said
just
34.
Open the
30
door to let everybody know that he's not there.
Yeah.
34 trillion watts, more than many nuclear blast, or as much as a nuclear blast, something along those lines.
Wow.
Yep. And so, yeah, it shows like the wounds up and down. They can't see the sides, but they can see the front and they can see the back. When he was nailed to the cross, from what they can tell, it was done in a proper way, not the way they depicted in movies, but they go through the heel, they go through the ball of the foot into out the heel of the foot right here. When they put you on the cross, and also in the hand, or the hands are healed. But oftentimes when they do a crucifixion, they don't do the feet, because then you can pull yourself up with it. But they wanted him to suffer longer, even though his organs were in failure by this point and everything like that. That they did nail his feet to the cross so that he could lift himself up and suffer even longer. And then when they stabbed him in the side, a lot of times what happens, what people may or may not know unless you're a medic or paramedic, is that there's a white fluid surrounding your lungs, and so when he got stabbed there was blood in this white clear fluid, which shows up on the Shroud of Turin on one side of it. So and they said that when they analyze it, it would have been the amount of stress and everything. They can analyze certain things, and it just seems to go along with the story of abuse and that sort of thing. And now this Shroud of Turin has been in a research project with 33 scientists. There's that magical number. I know.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah. In 1978, and they've spent over 100 hours, in examination. So there's been a lot of study going into this now. And there's also the pollen claims. So there's like 58 pollen samples from this shroud, and 38 of them are strictly from Jerusalem on Easter, specifically around the 5th is where they're thinking he was actually done. But I mean, it's like this flower just blooms at only one place in the world and only one time of the year. And the rest of it is from where it was traveled, where it was like kept after the fact. So 28 of those or something, or 38 species, or 13 species, excuse me, strongly tied to the Jerusalem area.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
I didn't know they did pollen test on it. That's the first time I've heard that.
Yep.
Yeah. Me too. First time.
Yep, they've got blood samples and this, and now with AI, they're able to put together an image. And so, you want me to send you a little video of that?
Yeah.
Let me see. I'm getting over you all. I didn't want to cough. I couldn't hit the mute fast enough.
Kiki said, yeah, send a video over. Kiki's been awfully mouthy the last couple days.
She has, but now if Chad's on, I can mute.
Well, let's look at this one first. And then we'll look at and then I'll send you this one, Brenda. Or you want me to wait until after this?
Yeah, hang on a second.
Okay.
Let me get this.
because AI is like recreating them, but I also notice it's doing certain things. Like it's done what we've done to Jesus, which is, I'm sorry, gay him up, feminized him and stuff like that. And I noticed the AI will do that, do something little with his lips and make his eyes a little more. But this one that I found, it feels more accurate.
Okay. All right.
Okay, this is just the shroud
Okay.
in itself.
Well, maybe.
The
And I don't know what it
image on the
says.
shroud. This, as we'll see, is the most unique image in the history of all artifacts in the entire world for all time. It has undergone more scientific testing, and it has like 123 different tests. That testing has all been absolutely 100% positive. But here's the deal. That image has to be produced by a tremendous burst of light. And that would be in the order of about 6 to 8 billion watts of magnitude. That's with a B, billion, like 500,000 searchlights worth of light energy emanating from every three-dimensional point in this man's body. That's, by the way, highly unusual for corpses to do. And so for all intents and purposes, we've got really a testimony to a miracle. The image
Now,
on the
I have something that I want to kind of say about that. Where is my stop sharing button? Why do I not have that here anymore? What is going on? Okay. One thing I want to add, and this is what I've kind of always looked at this and never understood. When you look at that, you not only see a form of a face, but you see the mustache and the beard. How does that happen? I mean,
He imprinted everything.
Maybe in a negative, maybe this is a positive and these are negatives, and so it just comes out because it's not being photographed. I don't know though. Unless
okay.
it went through his hair too, so I don't know. But you're right, that's a good question.
No, they do
Yeah.
have his hair. I mean, he has his, his hair.
Yeah.
and-
I mean, I can understand it coming out of the flesh, out of the body, but
Yeah,
with
right.
the hair, that's what kind of confuses me a little bit. I've kind of always thought, well, okay, hang on a second. Here's
Yeah,
the-
you're right. You're right.
I mean, I don't know. I've just always been kind of curious, and I question things because, well, I think in life we're supposed to. We're supposed to question everything we see, and especially if we don't understand it. So that's been one thing that I've just never understood.
Because we don't have the technology to create something like this doesn't mean that something celestial doesn't or underground doesn't, you know what I mean, have that
True.
missing technology. So you got to consider everything, right?
Right. True.
But there is
Right.
AB blood on it, so, and there was on the helmet, so, and then the dating and everything, so there's a lot that aligns, and especially the story that matches up with it too. So there's a lot of credibility to be handed over to it. But you're right, I don't know how the hair is imprinted on there.
Huh. Yeah. Well, Brenda,
Cloud image. Watch what happens when it's wiped away.
hang on a second.
Now ask the real question. What process makes a surface-only imprint like that without paint?
Problem. Now, I do know for a fact that Jesus was Middle Eastern. So he was of a darker ascent. I've had people tell me, well, Jesus was black. Well, he was Middle Eastern, so he would have been darker. So a lot of times when we do stuff like this, I feel like it gives a false image, but
This is AI though, so we're just
Yeah,
watching it to
it's-
see what
it's-
it's.
this is what AI is doing. And you can't argue with AI. Chad knows that. So do I.
When they feminize them too much, I can, and I do. I'm like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
Oh, they did that too.
This isn't a filter. That dirt on the glass is the shroud.
So
That was actually a pretty good AI
yeah,
rendition.
kinda, he's like, this is not a filter. Okay,
That was pretty good though. I mean,
interesting.
it could have been really bad actually. So that was a good one.
Yeah.
So when they did testing on it and everything, obviously they got skin cells. If they got if it radiated outwards, I'm pretty sure there would have been like skin cells, also on there.
Those
At least I would imagine there would have been.
those 33 scientists haven't disclosed that if they have found it, Brenda.
And they probably don't want to at this point because then they'll disappear.
Just saying, if they found skin samples, they're probably in there trying to clone them.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's a good
Oh,
one.
yeah.
That's a good one. Or there's nothing to see here.
I know. Move along. Yeah. Yeah. They have kind of figured out cloning and all of those aspects, haven't they? Well, they've had that for a long time. So, oh my
Yeah, it
gosh.
seems like they try to clone everything.
So the dating back to this shroud, it all comes back to the same error for the dating on it.
Yep.
Okay.
Which surprises me because I thought there was 1,000 missing years between us and his death. But they're
Well-
saying it's about 2,000 years on this shroud. So,
I mean,
and the church is will deny it. So what is to me, it's satanic anyways, mostly, at its core.
yeah.
Not maybe maybe not the people, but
Yeah.
but it is.
I
get
have
why
a
they
hard
don't-
time with the people in Catholic churches and
Yeah.
Stuff, especially with the Vatican, because the Vatican has helped cover up so much stuff. So, but
Yeah, they've done a lot of bad stuff.
yeah,
And there's certain parts around the world, everyone, that denounce Jesus as a Messiah
right.
or don't believe he was a Messiah. There's some that do, and we can, we're together, but there's some that don't. So it's kind of interesting learning this information. I mean, it sends chills up and down my body.
There's some
you
people
know.
that look at him as a master teacher, but not the
Mhm.
Messiah. Buddha talks about Jesus and was aware, and people in India, but they don't look at him as a Messiah. They looked at him as a master teacher.
Right.
And then
And that's the way I thought he was a teacher too, but he said friend to me. He's spoken to me a couple times in my head.
Yeah.
Well,
Twice. And one was to say friend, because I
like
thought
a-
teacher, Messiah, what are
Yeah.
you? It's
Way
like friend.
shower, showing the way of, and he said,
in all
"You can do
actuality,
as-"
he was.
but
He,
yeah,
he
and he
was
said that
a master teacher, but
what he
I
does,
think so.
we can do greater than him.
Yeah.
We'll be able to do
Okay.
what he did and greater.
I'll be honest with you. I have a Gnostic perspective on the Bible. I do not listen to a word that God says in there or whatever God is saying in there. I only listen to what Jesus is saying. I think because I do not believe in the slavery. I do not believe in the this. The Russians use it so they can be homophobic, a warring God, an unjust. I'm like, that's who he came down to speak out against. My God doesn't have a name, and it's the God of light, and beyond that.
well,
Mhm.
to be fair,
Yes.
a lot of the Bible is, well, all of the Bible is man written, but a lot of it has been taken out. It's been rewritten to fit certain narratives. Now, the closest thing that I have ever found to making any sense is the Ethiopian Bible.
Yeah.
I want to look into that a little further, and the Dead Sea Scrolls, and they're still finding little fragments of this Dead Sea Scroll. And according to what I have researched, the Dead Sea Scrolls just claims that the Old Testament was around way longer before Jesus came around. That they added him to it.
Also, look into the Book of Enoch because that was taken out of the original words. And the reason why they say they took it out, because if you read the Book of Enoch, it makes everything sound like monsters and stuff because it talks about the giants, it talks about the dragons, it talks about all of that stuff.
UFOs.
That
Yes.
yes,
It does. It does.
yes.
Yes.
They have
UFOs
had
are in there.
all of that removed out of the Bible because they did not want people to know that that stuff actually was around. Because, see, here it is. If you can read this and you can say, oh my gosh, there were dragons, okay?
There's dragons.
Then people will say, well, then the Bible must be correct. So they didn't want that. And from what I have been looking into, I'm here to tell you something. We did gain a lot of years. They fast forwarded us somewhere in time. Okay. I'm not exactly sure if it's 800 or 1,000 years, but they totally skipped out on a lot of stuff. They did that deliberately. Okay. So, what I've been looking into, there were no dinosaurs.
No.
They were dragons.
Yep.
They were dragons. No dinosaurs. Oh God, who stole whose kid?
There's been some other Christian people that don't believe in dinosaurs. I've heard it years ago, that they were on television and everything spouting off like that's just blasphemy. Right. That's not true, blah, blah, blah. And then people are like, oh, they're crazy. Just go to the museum. Like what? And look at dragons?
Well, and see, the thing of it is they took, in the museums, they took bones of giants. They took, that they've dug up, bones of dragons that they've dug up, and they formed their own dinosaurs. Okay? They made those. The word dinosaur didn't even exist until, what was it, the 1600s? Something like that? Yeah, okay. Your Chinese calendar has got every living animal in that. Every living animal.
Yeah, the year of the dragon.
No dinosaurs, dragons.
Yep. Yeah. But I've seen, I don't know if I have it on my phone or not, but maybe taking it off, of real dragons, that real pictures of real dragons. Yep. I got from somebody else 3 years ago of people have caught them, still killed them. They're pretty. These are the water dragons. They're white and they're really pretty actually.
Yeah. Forms left of them. I mean, if there are any of the very large ones around, they're nowhere around here. No. And I imagine, you know what I thought about? If we did have any, they would be in China and they're very well protected.
Well, yeah, they represent them and love them and honor them.
Yeah. So
Jesse Zabater, I think, claims the Rothschilds or somebody have one chained up under their place.
Somebody needs to unchain that thing so it can go eat them.
So some of these elite might have them just for under their residences or whatever.
Well, yeah, they need to break free and go eat those people because they're not good anyways.
Wrong. Just wrong.
Yeah, I know, right? That would be horrible. Here, don't eat me, but I'm gonna unleash you. You can go eat them.
No, dragon will tear them up and then probably get sick.
Yeah. I forget. I think
just set them on fire.
Maybe it was Napoleon or somebody like that but they were telling stories if you were about like having to slay dragons. These people that had to travel around and stuff like that over in Russia and stuff like that, and how to do it. The best way to kill a dragon is to put a cow full of dynamite in the way Because if you kill the dragon and it's in your path, like if it's in a canyon, you know, and it's in your path, then you have to get rid of the dragon. But if you just blow it up, then you don't have to, you can just keep on traveling or something like that. I mean, it was,
Wow.
yeah,
Poor
but they,
cow and
Okay,
dragon.
I
the
don't
kings and
want
queens,
the
like you said, they took this away from our history.
yeah, and I don't want the job of putting that much dynamite in a cow.
No,
Okay?
that's
Yeah.
Just
gross.
saying. That's how do you do that, and how do you light them all? Well,
they
They
not
probably just
put it in, like
and
this
stuff
one,
it
put
in.
it in.
get kicked. Well, also,
Run.
Ireland and Ireland, Scotland has history of dragons too. I mean, they
Yeah.
have it in folklore, but
Well,
it's still like a history.
I've kind of thought that a lot of things that they have made folklore is true.
Yeah, that's what I've always, all the folklore. I'm like, that's real, that's real, that's real. And my friends are like,
Yeah.
oh no, you're crazy. And I'm like, no, I'm not. That's real. You know, all the other stuff that they're trying to cram down our throats, or
Yeah.
like that poor cow, kaboom.
It wasn't Napoleon, it was somebody else. Sorry, y'all.
The cow jumped over the moon. Hey, maybe that's why.
Yeah, I got the dynamite.
Dynamite blew the cow over the moon.
He didn't jump. He got blown up over the moon. Trying to kill a dragon.
Oh my god.
That'll be a good fairy tale for the kids in the future.
Yeah, the cow blew up over the moon. But yeah, so I think that they messed with everything that we've had. So I don't doubt that shroud is real at all. Now, because of what they say they found on it, and this is where I have a hard time, because they lie to us about everything. So it's so hard to say, okay, so what if that wasn't actually Jesus? What if it was actually one of his disciples? What if it was, it's so hard to tell when they lie about everything. So as far as we know, it's Jesus. We can't go back on that because of where that's been found. But like I said, if you want to get closer to the truth, the Book of Enoch is probably the best one, because they didn't change a lot of that. So like King James, when he rewrote his, it used, that part where it says man shall not lay with man, well, that used to say man shall not lay with child. And
Yep.
he changed that because King James was a pedophile.
Okay. Now, over in Iran and different places, Afghanistan and places like that, they have homosexuality as being illegal in their religion because man cannot lay with man. However, it does not say in the Bible that man can't lay with boy. So that's what they're doing.
Yeah, and see, but
It's
it
happening
used to be.
everywhere around the world, not just here with our elites. You know what I mean? It's like, what is this with sleeping with kids? And then when you listen to these Grimes fairy tales, about Little Red Riding or whatever they were really horrible,
Oh, yeah, they
stories.
were.
And
Oh.
about eating kids, or Red Riding Hood was about prostitution. I mean, it's just
The Muffin Man, even all of our fairy tale, even all of our kids' songs that we grew up with.
But
You
even
know?
even the Romans had wives, but they had their boys when they would go to their meetings. The teenage boys, they're boys. They're
Yeah.
So yeah,
Which I'm sorry, that's a child.
yeah.
So they basically have gone and like I said, I think that when they remade the Bible the way they wanted it to fit their narratives.
Constantine and the popes did that. Tore up a bunch of stuff, throwing things. Constantine wanted to be the Messiah. He wanted, because he was not, because they have some story of how Christianity came with Constantine, is that when they were at war, they saw a cross in the sky, and that gave him the acknowledgement, enlightenment to do that. He sat down with, I don't know how many popes. I can't remember how many popes, but it wasn't just one. It was a bunch of them.
Well, and I'm gonna tell you guys again. I'm gonna tell you this. Here's the problem. The cross is a symbol. Okay, Jesus was not hung on a cross. He was hung on a wooden pole. It was a straight pole. It was not a cross. So a lot of things will tell you that, first of all, people idolize the cross.
Yeah.
Okay. You're not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to really idolize Jesus either. They're supposed to only idol you're supposed to have is the Father. The way to the Father is through the Son, but you don't idolize Jesus because you're not supposed to.
No, but people
So,
do.
yeah.
They really do.
And I'll tell you, when I found that out about the cross being an idol, I had to go through my house and, I was like, yeah, we don't want to put, these things all over because you're not supposed to idolize that. And seeing how Jesus was not hung on a cross, he was hung on a pole, having the crosses that have Jesus on them. To me, now, and it may not be, but in my opinion, it's kind of blasphemy. So I just everybody has their different outlooks. Now me, I don't believe in religion. Religion is man-made. You do not need to be in a church or you all right, Chad?
But the churches, as we discovered, were the sound frequency healing buildings.
Right. And that's what they use that for.
Yeah.
Way back in the day.
Worship.
Right. And the thing of it is you do not have to be in a church to worship God.
I used to tell my friends that
talk about Jesus.
Jesus wasn't in a building. He was in the fields. He was in the woods.
Right.
He was traveling
Right.
all over the place.
He
He's standing on a rock. He's
Yep.
on a mountain.
Yep.
He's out in nature.
And I will tell you this, knowing how Mother Nature is anyways, most of our vibrational frequencies that are in the earth that we can benefit from, out there being barefoot in the grass, out there up in the mountains. And I think that that's why he did that out of a building, because not only was he preaching the word of the Father, but they were also getting that healing vibration from the earth and all of that. So I think that that's what it was all about. It wasn't about everybody gathering in a building and,
That's
worshiping.
what the Jewish people did at the synagogues. They went to the building. They did their sacrifices.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
they did sacrifices. So, and I thought that was wrong too. I'm like, I don't care if it's a sheep or not. You're killing something for a God.
And I used to question even when I was a child, because I went to a Catholic church as a child because, of course, my grandmother was German, so they were Catholic. And when they used to do the eating of the body of Christ and drinking the blood of Christ, I used to say to myself, and this was before I even knew anything about cannibalism. I used to think to myself, why am I eating Jesus?
Yeah, I
Why
know.
am I drinking his blood?
Yep.
So to me, I think now that when I grew up and I knew what that was, I thought to myself, they're promoting cannibalism. You have Jesus in you, in your heart. You don't need to swallow his flesh and drink his blood. Okay?
No, that
Just
was
saying.
it's cannibalism.
And apparently, from what I've been watching, that is something that has gone on for millenniums.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Do you know that Idaho is the only state in the United States that bans cannibalism? They're the only one. Why hasn't anybody else done that?
I don't know.
That's what I want to know. Hi, Jason. So when I found that out, I was like, huh, do I need to go to Idaho so I know I'm not eating people?
Yeah.
I mean, really? Interesting. I mean, what happens if you run out of food and you were eating people this whole time? What are you going to do? Chew off your own arm?
Yeah. Well, there's yeah, people are doing it now and they don't even know it.
Oh my God.
They are.
So yeah, so I see them lying about different things, and the Shroud of Turin. So it was dated back. That's good. We do have scientists that I'm pretty sure have dug deeper into that, and they probably just haven't been able to say anything. So it's kind of messed
Because
up.
the linen actually loses something after a certain amount of time, and this is devoid of that particular thing. So it's been around for quite a while, and it also shows his height to be about 5'11" to 6'1", and the average height back then was 5'1" to 5'5". So he was probably exceptionally tall for his, for the area and stuff like that back then. Lean, muscular, broad-shouldered, and physically fit from manual labor. Some of the descriptions they can interpret from
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Well, they did. I think. Well, back then they all did manual labor, but they, you know,
But he walked a lot, I think. He walked, didn't
yes,
he?
he
Yeah.
walked everywhere. He walked everywhere. They didn't drive or really even ride horses. I think back then they used horses to lug their stuff, but they walked. And they did. He was a mason where he built stuff, right? So
I remember.
of course, yeah. So of course he had muscles. He had to, and people were better fit back then. I heard that back in those days, if they ate 3 times a week, they were gorging. I heard that they didn't hardly ever eat like we do now. They've taught us, and we've grown up to where we are supposed to eat 3 meals a day. That's what's made us unhealthy and fat. You do better with getting rid of like parasites and all that when you fast, So they didn't eat like we did back then. They didn't eat 3 meals a day or even once a day. They might have only ate once a week. So I don't know. But they changed everything. Yes, Denise, camels. They had camels and horses, camels.
Oh, camels don't eat, but they have their camel humps, and so they
They
feed off.
store
They
their
don't.
water.
Yeah,
They store their,
they
yeah.
store the
That's what
food. That's
cats,
why they're the best, and was created to go across the deserts because they don't have to eat.
that's what, have you ever noticed when a cat gets older, it's got that jiggly down on its bottom? Cats do the same thing. They store water in there. That way, a lot of cats when they're feral, they find a place where they drink water and they'll gouge up enough water to put in that jiggly. Then they don't have to have water for 3-4 days, you know, and they don't dehydrate. So yeah, dogs are screwed. They have to have water all the time.
Mine's drinking water right now as you said it. She went over to. She's like, "Thanks, Brenda. I'll have
Yeah,
some."
thanks for reminding me. That doggone Kiki.
Yeah, she's
I think
crazy.
the only dog that behaves when we're on here is Chad's dog.
I know. Chad's dog's like really. I keep on forgetting you even have one. You got a good dog.
Mine will
Okay.
bark at the neighbors and bark at a car that starts, and Kiki barks because she wants attention and she wants to be on the show. And
Yeah, she's just barking at everything.
yeah. So other than the dating on it, so the dating's correct because it's very old material, extremely, and they have tried to repair it, right? And they've repaired it with newer material, and then they've taken that material and they've said that, well, it's fake because it doesn't date back, right?
Yeah, they sent it to 7 labs to be tested, and only 3 of the labs tested. Oxford, Zurich, and Arizona are the labs' names. And they tested the one place they told them not to test. So
Yeah.
it sounds to me like they don't want people to think this is real,
The one
versus
place they
Well,
didn't want them to test.
they're
Wow.
taking
they were told
they're
not to
take-
many times. Don't test here,
yes.
and that's where they tested. So it's like,
Wow.
Yeah, they're taking the Father and Jesus out of everything is what they've been trying to do for a very long time.
I think so.
And that brings me to something that we're going to talk about towards the last part of the show, because I want to bring something up with you guys. So when we are done with this, we're going to talk about something else that has to do with disclosure and a few things. So something that I had a dream about, and then I ended up hearing it somewhere, and I don't even remember where I heard it. And it kind of blew my mind, but yeah. So
Okay. And if people are curious, the shroud went from Jerusalem to Edessa to Constantinople to France, and then it rested in Turin, is where that's why it's called the Shroud of Turin. So that was its
Huh.
journey.
So it's been all over the place.
Yep. And that's according to the Fallen.
Now, I would think that something like that would have ended up down in the Vatican with a lot of other stuff.
They've been protecting it, I think. And a lot of monks and different people have been writing things down, you know what I mean, just to keep it. So I'm interested to see what comes up or what's presented here, with our AI and everything. Maybe somebody's going to throw it on there, and yeah.
Jason, get out of my brain. Stop reading my mind, honey. Woo will get upset with you. So yeah, I would think that should have ended up somewhere in the Vatican, away from prying eyes, away from people finding out. So that there's another thing about,
and they won't let it be recarbon tested.
Really?
No.
That they put it in the Vatican, they would take it down and put it in their catacombs of all the other goodies that they got stashed down there. I would love
I
to know what they got down there. It's been one of my.
yeah. Who knows? I think they probably keep. I think way down there. I think they used to keep freezers of body parts, and they used to sit there and feed the reptilians. Yes, Jason, I know. He popped into Abe's show the other night and said he wasn't feeling well. So, um, but yeah, like I said, they should have kept that thing under wraps, I would think. Only had trusted people, doing any kind of dating it or anything like that instead of traveling it all over the place. I mean, what they do, put it in a plastic baggie and just say, here you go.
No, they, believers of Jesus and wanting to share and, sacred stuff. Some people, they just want to do it out of the kindness of their heart of like, look, here's proof. Look at this, and then you get the other groups that come floating in and take over the
Well,
narrative.
they've been, like I said, they have been trying to get rid of God and Jesus for a very long time. They've been doing this. That's why a lot of the younger generation, they say, well, there's no God, there's no devil, life is just life. And that's the way they think because that's the way they're indoctrinated to think.
No, not
You
all
know?
kids. I know
Well,
tons of around here.
most.
I see lots of churches, lots of Christian families. I even tried going to a church. It was a mega big one. Nice people and I couldn't. It was too churchy. I couldn't
Loud.
speak the lingo. And I was like, okay, but it was a good experience. I don't
Yeah.
have anything against
Oh,
what they're doing.
I've been to many, I've been to many, but when they start with that money, 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 and we need money, 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 and we need money, that's when I'm like, yeah, but God don't need money. Jesus never needed money. Why do you need money?
No,
You get
Jesus
everything
had money.
tax free.
His family was had more money, and he was able to travel and do more than what they downplayed him as some poor old carpenter stuff, because families couldn't travel the way that they traveled back in those times unless you had money. You just
Well,
couldn't do it.
you walked places. They didn't have to eat all the time. They slept under the stars. They didn't have weather manipulation to go raining down on them whenever they wanted to go and sleep out in the desert back then. So you probably didn't need a whole lot.
No, they were good. They weren't the poor,
Oh yeah.
ragged,
I
like
I
some
think
people
that
like to portray them to be.
I think back then I think they all were probably better off than most of us now
Yeah, then trying to
because
make it
you
downplay
know
it.
they bartered back then. They traded things for things, you know. Jesus turned water into wine. They didn't have to go buy bottles of wine.
No, they
They
drank that, they say, because of the water being tainted, and that's
Oh
why
yeah.
they drank it. Jeez,
Why
got bad water then, got bad water now. What's up?
Doggone it.
Yeah, speaking of the weather modification, because we have covered that, I just would like to point out that in Iran, they destroyed some bases of ours
Yes.
in the Middle East. And the day or the night that they destroyed them, they began to get rain after a very, very long drought that has. So now their
Yep.
dams are, so now they're getting lots and lots of water out of the blue. So it does exist.
Oh yes, it does.
Yeah, and we can look at the
does.
pictures of what that site looked like to see what those weather modification instruments, actually look like.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, it exists. You follow Wayne or oh crap, I can't remember his name now. He's from California. Dean Whitaker. He's been doing it for ages. And there was a lady from California that was a forest geologist or something and started testing the waters and stuff back in like the 90s. So out in your way, there's been people that's been doing it, improving it
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
forever.
that is correct. And you know, and they cause rain. They use them to block out our sun because they know that we need the vitamins from that sun. Our earth needs it to be able to have vegetation to grow. They say, well, we wouldn't get a lot of rain. Yeah, we would. We would get the rain that we need for the seasons we need it in.
Yeah, Mother Earth knows what she needs to do for the
That's
planet.
right.
Thank you very much.
That's right. I
Well,
mean,
that's why we have the weather whiplash, I believe, is because it's them and her back
Yep.
and forth. And
Yep.
the earth is trying to reset itself, but they're just keeps on messing with it.
and they do use them to produce earthquakes.
Oh yeah. I think the one in Fukushima was
Yeah.
wasn't it was unnatural occurrence, is my
I
opinion.
wouldn't be surprised if they're not doing something to cause these volcanoes to erupt.
Right.
Yeah.
I think
So
yes, Yellowstone is having some activity.
Yeah. And Mount St. Helens, some people are predicting might go off again too.
and I love that prediction thing. Or I love the when the weather comes. Oh, your skies are nice, but next week you're going to get this blasted storm that's going to come in and go 5 states, and we're all going to freeze to death. Well, how do you know this?
Because they already planned it out.
I already put it in the works.
Oops, I'm reading my script for next week. Doggone
Oh
it.
yeah, sorry. Let me set that one to the side. Wrong facts.
Yeah, wrong facts.
So Jason brought up something which is a little bit of something that I want to talk about. We're going to end up doing a show on these missing and dead scientists and what they were doing, and who they were working for. Okay. Which kind of feeds into a little bit of what Jason was saying. So, yes, the government has gotten together with a bunch of pastors, and they're telling them to prepare their congregations for what's going to happen. All right.
I have a
So-
theory too. What they're preparing for.
So here it is. I do think that what's being said is correct. I think that they are going to go ahead and use Project Bluebeam. And I think they're going to go ahead and do a fake alien invasion. And they're going to have these aliens turn around and say that there is no God. We were put here by them. Because like I said, they're trying to
God.
take God and Jesus out of every equation.
Of course.
And I do believe that J.D. Vance was correct when he said that, and I do think he was talking about the gray ones, that they're demons. Now, there are other people who believe that they are actually us
No,
from
never
the
believed
future.
that. Never ever believe
From
that.
Right. They've said that they were us from the future after some kind of catastrophic thing that happened, and that everybody had to go underground, and that's what they ended up turning into. Now that's one narrative that they're trying to spin, but no.
That's old.
Yeah. Oh, they'll bring that back up because there are people that don't remember that back
Yeah, I
then.
got to get the newbies.
Yeah, exactly. But I do think that they are going to probably try something like that. And I do think it is to pull God and Jesus out of the equation, or try to, because you already have enough people who, like I said, the younger generations, most of the younger generations now, they don't believe in, the the Bible at all. They think it's some fiction fairy tale. So they're not. It's not going to take much to push them over the edge of. See, I told you there's no God. So
they're actually going to try, because I know that they've been trying to do Project Bluebeam, but it's been failing. they've tried it a couple of times. They've been trying to get that started and fired up. So
yeah,
it'd be interesting if they can get it going. I honestly don't know if it's going to happen or not.
I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but I think that that's what they're trying to allude to, because right now it's like, I listened to this thing, okay, and they did it again, and you got to watch what you're listening for. There was this news thing, and it said, they brought up something about Epstein files, and then all of a sudden it says, and then breaking, and it went into this whole thing that's happening on this cruise ship, which once again, we're not falling for that this time. I'm sorry. Somebody go sink that boat. This is not going to happen again. Okay. No. We're not getting locked down again. I sunk your lion ship. No, that's not going to happen again. Okay. Sorry. But, so it went into that whole thing. So once again, anytime something comes up that the government doesn't want to talk about, or that they don't really want to put out there, but they got to mention it every once in a while, they throw something else in there. Okay. Every time. So I'm waiting to see what is going to happen that's going to set off the fact that, oh, we better throw aliens Q now, because it's the same old scenario, same shit every day.
Well, it's to confuse people, put people in fear. Fear sells, makes money.
Oh, yeah.
And confusion. So confusion, I think that's their prime thing lately, is to confuse the crap out of everybody, except for those that know. Fear. And also, when information comes out by other people, researchers, people that know how to find things, and they mention it, and then other people on alternative mention it, then they got to throw something out there because somebody's getting too close. So they got to throw out, their part. They can't go fishing. Out.
They take that line and they throw it out a little bit further, and look at that bass.
Yeah, they can't be left out, but then they got to, like you said, blindside people, Yeah.
Yeah. So what's your theory on it there, Chad?
Oh, I kind of feel like it's end times. I do feel like we're following those a little bit, with an possible Antichrist being present, and then the war of wars. I don't think that's with Iran. I think that is going to be that fake alien invasion, and then allegedly this, Jesus comes back after that, right?
Well, you got to watch it.
War, so it's just like I'm going to look into that more.
Yeah, and I think that the first one that comes around is going to be the Antichrist. So, and that the Antichrist will be revealed probably after that. So yeah, I think they're doing too much. They're just doing too much. People, can we look?
And I think they're aware of it, and they're trying to prevent or do something. And we're all down here watching Britney Spears. You know what I mean? I mean, basically, that's what they have us doing. And from what I understand, they do believe in their own belief system, these elite, that they are different than us, and they are directly descended from those fallen angels or God or something like that. So they're the chosen ones, and we're the wretched. That's why they don't mind it when we die and get sick.
They would die without us.
The opposite. Yeah, they think of it as the opposite of the way we perceive it, that we're the chosen. Jesus already said it's the weak and it's the and or whatever. The meek, maybe. The meek. Okay, so.
And here's the thing. Yeah, they do. They believe that they've always believed that, because they're all related. Number one, all of them, every single one of them. Barack Obama is related to Hillary Clinton. They're all related because they all come from the same bloodline. Families, the 13 families. Okay.
Yeah. Right.
So to them, they are holier than thou, and we just eat all their food. Well, I'm sorry. Look at here, Snip Mob. We are the ones who pick your food. We're the ones that slaughter your food. We're the ones that clean it and put it in the grocery stores. It's us. What are they going to do if we're gone? Who's going to plant their cherry tree? A robot? Well, eventually AI is going to catch on. And then they've stirred something up that they probably didn't need, because AI is going to revolt against them.
Well, that's their God.
They're not, yeah, it is. And they're not going to be able to control that when that happens.
The tech heads of the tech worlds will tell you that. That's who they worship. It's not a lie. They've spoken of it outright. It's not hidden. But
I mean, like I said, can't we just work and go home to our families? Everybody be peaceful. Stop all this stupid racial division. Stop it. That's ridiculous. We're all freaking human beings.
Well, you got to remember that human beings also have a conscious free will choice. And each human being needs to start taking their discernment and their free will choice and turn off the stuff.
Yep.
And go against the narrative when they say, throw this stuff out instead of getting all hyped up, because they feed off from that. They loosh off from your anger. They loosh off from your division. They loosh off from it's energy. It's energy vampires that are feeding off from anybody and everybody that's why I don't watch that stuff. I don't, half the time, you guys know, you throw out stuff that's going on and I'm like, I have no idea, because I choose not to get sucked into any of that anymore. I used to, and I'm not going to, because there's something else changing too in this world. And I've been with the Native Americans and others that know a little bit more than what's being taught.
And I don't sit and watch, because I won't turn on a news station. If I run across something online, plus being with Glenn and doing the shows with Glenn, I have to kind of pay attention to a few of the things that's going on. I hate it, but unfortunately I have to. But I don't hang off of anything the news says. No, sorry, because they lie. They've been allowed to lie. It's part of, they are a pandemic. They are a sickness. Yeah. And anybody who listens to what they say, you really need to do your own thinking. Use your brain.
Did you know that CNN had something going on? I had no idea. I'm at Costco and I see like girls with fake mustaches on, ladies. And one of the other people that was working there that gives out the samples or whatever happened to walk by, and she asked one of the gals, she's like, "What's up with the mustaches?" And she goes, "It's something with CNN. I don't know what it was," but then she said CNN. And then she's like, duh, walked off. And I looked over to the lady and I'm like, she goes, "I don't even know what CNN she's talking about." And I go, "I think the news." And she goes, "Okay, but what does that have to do with anything?" And I'm like, I have no idea. So whatever on CNN.
Oh, Ted Turner. He died.
Oh, well, people were in mustaches, like women, not men, women today at Costco.
So they're doing that to honor Ted Turner? Is that what it is?
Okay, I guess.
Oh my God.
I mean, I seen one walk. I was like, seen one in the clothes department, was like, okay, I don't know if I'm looking at a dude or a lady, and they looked like the Colonel from KFC. They had the white with the little wispy thing, and I looked again, and I was like, "You got to be kidding me!" And then another one came around.
Wow.
And boys, some of the cashiers, and I'm like, okay, but me and that lady was like, I have no idea.
Okay, so if Joe Biden passes away, are we all going to shave our head bald and walk over to a stage and shake nobody's hand? Trip up some stairs on a plane? I mean, come on.
Thinking, is that a new woke woke thing that I didn't know about again, because I do live in a very democratic.
You know what? Half
City.
of those girls running around like that probably have never seen Ted Turner or even knew who he was.
No, because they were young. I'm younger than me.
Yes. They probably had no idea. All they know is CNN told them to honor him by wearing mustaches. We are Ted Turner. Shut up. Stop it, people.
Well, and they
Oh my
probably don't even watch CNN,
God.
that they got it on Facebook, right? You know, or whatever social media that they contact with each other.
Oh my God.
But yeah, that's a good share today. I forgot about that.
Oh my God. But yeah, Chad, I think you're right. I think they are doing all of this stuff. I mean,
And-
it's bad.
Yeah. End times, and I heard they're trying to rush in or bring in something before it. So they're doing their thing. That's all it
So
is
they're
to it.
trying to get everybody. It's
Yeah.
montage of stuff they're throwing out there.
Just like even like go to an AI and ask them like, what is the top 50 richest people in America by state, or whatever, and have them list their states and then have them list their occupations. You'll be surprised how much money there is that just exist in people's pockets that we don't even know live or are alive.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
we think it's all the celebrities and all these people. Oh no, there's
oh yeah, there's
big
yep.
people that we don't even know about. And what are
Oh,
they
yeah.
living in? They're living in complete wealth, riches, the best of everything. And
If they run out of a log for their fireplace, they just throw in
Yeah.
a couple of bundles of cash.
turn
Oh,
on
yeah,
the air
you got 'em
conditioner and
here.
run the fireplace. I've been
Yeah.
in places like that too. So
We
Um,
got them here. I went for a job thing at a country club, and they're like, I don't know, $60,000, I think, a year for just to be a part of this country club, which
Jesus.
is a drop in the bucket to these people.
yeah, and they don't think that we could run the world, is what they claim. They say we would destroy it.
You know what?
So,
We would all work like normal. The world
Yeah.
will run itself.
it might
We
look
won't
like
have-
hobbits. We might look like little hobbits, but that's okay.
Oh,
You
I'd
know
like to
what?
be
like
We
like a
have-
hobbit.
with little artisans running around. That's what I would
We
like to
have
think, little
experienced
creative
home
artisans.
builders.
Yeah.
We have experienced home builders. We have
Yes.
experienced farmers. We have the Amish. We can go to them and say, "Hey, help us out."
We have
Okay?
doctors that can heal us that they murder. I
Yes.
mean, and I was thinking about it too. Like I was talking to a friend. I'm like, we've really gone through a lot because we've been bombarded. We've been bombarded through our chemicals, through like our cleaning agents, through like our clothes, and the anti-fungus things on it, through our and for women, cosmetics like product makeup and products that they have to put on. We've been bombarded through the air with microwaves and radio waves and whatever, and 5G.
Aluminum.
Through our food, through our medical, through our vaccination, through our, everything you can think of, we've been targeted.
But
And
we're still
so-
here.
Yeah, and we're still here.
You know
And what
why we're
really-
still here? Because we've been eating this stuff and living in it and breathing in it since we were so small. Our bodies have adapted.
They
So that's
do.
why they're turning it up so that they can try to get it to work better.
God created us to get through this stuff, because when ascension and everything else comes and the change of things are coming, there's things coming to Earth that is not spoken about,
Right.
really.
Yeah.
Indigenous
so.
knew about it. Ancients knew about it. That's why they were
Yeah.
taking them out. But the
Mhm.
problem is they can't read into the future. Neither can many of anybody else, because it's something coming new that's never been on the planet. But if those that can hang on to it, they'll get to see it and be a part of it. And those that can't,
Something
Right.
new really needs to happen.
Yeah. I think it'll be interesting to watch. I don't know how long it's going to take to play out. I do feel like we're here to, I'm kind of going in observer mode now and just seeing what I can figure out. I think it's a strange place we're in too, compared to where we're coming from that we don't even know about. Because if you think about it, like we're in the same space and era, or same space and everything that giants and dragons and Nephilim and fallen angels and all that, but there's not a single one around us now. It's just this little humans going to work and going to school and coming home and watching our cartoons and TV and doing. It's just like it's just so fortified, and you can look around and it's a little scary.
Yeah.
It's not like we evolved out of caves to wind up here like a lot of people believe.
Yeah,
And what's
right.
sad is you listen to the people, even intelligent people on there, like your mentors or somebody that really, has a lot of intelligence, but then they'll turn around and say, oh, those crazy people who don't believe in dinosaurs, or those, I'm not talking about those people that don't believe, but we're lucky because we know there was a reset. They don't.
Oh, there's been
There's so much
several.
we know here on this platform and channel that
Yeah.
others do not,
Yeah,
There's
there's
been
lots of
several
resets.
resets. Yep.
Like Adam, and the Nephilim, the washout, that was a reset. You got to look at it that way. Adam with Noah's Ark. Noah's Ark.
Oh, yeah.
That was a reset.
Yeah.
I mean, we just have had. They're
A lot.
what they're trying to do right now is reset again. It's just that there's
Yeah.
too many people aware and awake that it's not working out. But the human consciousness has the ability to change things. So when you pay attention. So if you are paying attention to what's going on negative, that's great. You're helping it. You don't have
Yeah.
to worry about your tax money or anything else. Your attention and your conscious awareness is feeding it and helping it. If you ignore it, and yes, there's people getting hurt and this and that, but it's going to die out more than,
Yeah.
Fear sells. Fear is an emotion. Fear is a way to control people.
And Denise, I want to let you know, because I don't know if you know yet, but Glenn and I will be back on the Daily Gazette on Monday. So, and I guess Randy, when he sold the TV station, he bought into 105 FM, and they're doing radio now. And I guess Glenn talked to him, and I guess our Daily Gazette's going to be on the radio on 105 FM, which reaches, we have 40,000 listeners in Australia and New Zealand now. And he's got 300,000 listeners all over the United States. So we're going to take that to radio, I guess. Ooh.
Yay.
Well, Glenn's been overwhelmed. So this week vacation that his wife took him on, I'm glad that they did, because him being out at his mom's as long as he was and everything he was dealing with there, he was just really overwhelmed. So the time that we've taken off, he's actually needed.
I understand, Glenn.
Yeah.
Glenn,
And sometimes we all need that, But he was asking me before he went on vacation, Brenda, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. And I'm like, you know what? Take your week and just chill. And then when you get back, then talk to me. Then you let me know what you think you want to do. I'm not going to push you. I'm not going to bend your arm to do it. So then I found out that he talked to Randy, and then I talked to him yesterday, and he said, Monday, live show on Monday. I said, yep. He said, okay. So
Yeah, vacation does the body good.
yeah, he really needed that.
Yeah, you
You
got
know,
to be able
and his wife told him, no messenger, no shows, no nothing. And I guess I'm the only one he's allowed to talk to. But yeah, but he sounded good when I talked to him. So He was getting ready to leave to go to the beach. I'm like, okay, stay out of the water. I don't want a shark to eat you. He goes,
Oh,
why would I
man.
stay out of the water? I said, because somebody peed in it. Probably lots of people. He goes, yeah, me. Shut up.
I was on the
So,
beach.
yeah.
I'd be in the ocean. Oh, craving that.
Not
Oh
me.
God. Out here, we found out that our lake
Love the
The
ocean.
oceans
has alligators in it.
or lakes.
There was some kids out there, and the parents happened to see it bring its head
Yeah.
up, and they had to
Wow.
run out there and get the kids. And then out here where I live, right around me, somebody released a bunch of Black Panthers. We have Black Panthers running around all over the place.
Aw,
So now they're telling us
kitties.
to watch out. And I'm like, oh, that's, Jack take Tucker out for a walk, and one of those Black Panthers would sneak up and snag him. And Jack would be like treating him like a greased pig. Go get him. And he'd run in the
Why
door.
would they do that though? For what reason? Why would they do
I don't know. Just all of a sudden we have a massive amount of Black Panthers running around in Texas. In central Texas, of all places. Well, I know we have mountain lions every now and then, but they usually stick out there towards the mountains and the wooded areas and all that stuff. They don't hang out in central Texas. We have the hood down here. They don't want to have nothing to do with us, So they might end up on somebody's floor as a carpet.
Aw,
But yeah,
don't
so
kill the
now,
cats. Black
now we
Panthers.
have,
Yeah.
now we have an overabundance of, these big black cats running around here. And I'm like, well, some of our stray cats have disappeared.
Mm.
Just saying.
And we got up here. It's just too cold to go swimming. Yeah, it was like 50 degrees here, but I mean, I got all the great. You don't want to go swimming in Lake Erie. That's nasty. That's all. Lake Michigan's good. There's nice sand. There's sand dunes up north, and I got a healing lake that I go to that's got spring waters. Living water comes up from it, so it's good. But you got to watch out for snapping turtles.
Jason, honey, what story? Which were you talking about? Oh God, I have things popping up all over my computer. What? Get out of here. Jason said he tried to tell. Okay, wait.
Tried to tell Abe, and no one responded.
Sharks are super cool. Yeah, sure, unless you're in one's mouth. Then you're not thinking they're so cool then. They are pretty. I mean, I like all wildlife and dolphins and they tell us to stay away from dolphins. Okay. They're wild animals. They can really hurt you.
Love humans.
I've heard that too. Yeah.
And their frequency that they talk to us in, that's what they don't want us around.
Yeah, they're healing frequencies. Down in Florida, they have a thing where they did with a boy that was, I think, severely autistic, but the dolphin could communicate with him. And yeah, they got some healing centers. You can go down there and swim with dolphins. So, because I've looked at it and it's like, man, if I had the money, I'd go down there to go swim. I would love to swim with a dolphin. Oh, that'd be a blast.
Now, you can get hurt by them if they're playing because they don't know that, if they nudge you in your ribs, they might do it a little hard and they don't know that that's what happened and they break a rib or two, But
Yeah,
because they are animals.
Dog too, so
This is true. And this is true. I know every time I wake this little crazy Tasmanian devil up when he's not ready to get up, I get, it's like, who are you? What'd you do with my dog? Turns into a little freaking skinwalker or something.
I think they're like horny little guys too.
What, dolphins?
Mm-hmm.
they had that on King of the Hill. King of the Hill, where Hank went in. Hank went into the dolphin. He got violated by a dolphin on King of the Hill.
Yeah, there was this one dolphin in captivity too, and it was depressed, so the lady started having sex with it
Oh, gross.
or giving it a hand job. That's what
Oh,
she
good
did.
God. Oh, my God. What people.
And it was
Okay.
happier. It became
Okay.
happier. It was at first dolphin in
Okay.
captivity.
That may be true, but
They
still.
should have
Okay,
gave
people,
the
leave our
dolphin
kids
a mate,
alone.
not a
Leave our
human.
kids alone. Stop doing sexual things to our animals. Okay.
Exactly.
Leave the dolphins alone, people. Quit hand jobbing the dolphins.
It was
That's why
depressed, and
some
so she.
people had gotten their own
If it
What
was
was it?
depressed, they should have got him
Animal
a female.
animal preserves and then bragged about it to everybody, like, look what I'm doing. But what they were really doing with them,
Now, I mean, I used to
Don't
work for
know.
a breeder, and I used to work for a Cocker Spaniel breeder, and we had show dogs there, beautiful, expensive dogs. And people used to pay for certain dogs that they wanted to sire their females. And there's been a time or two that we've had to do things unmentionable to get the specimens to be able to impregnate their dogs, but that's because, well, they were paying a lot of frickin' money and the dog was a ding dong and couldn't figure it out. We had him in the kennel with the girl. We even put him in a smaller kennel so that they couldn't run from each other. And he just looked at her like, da-da-da. And I'm thinking, you paid
He
that
was
much money to breed
gay.
to this dummy? I thought, could have been.
Chad.
I was like, Eddie just don't like women.
Mm-mm.
Take him off of the selling block. Just let him run around and be happy. He's a ding dong.
They are beautiful dogs, though. They really are. But they have a distemperament, don't they? Or there's something about them that is
I never
Cocker
had
Spaniels, right? Okay.
I never had a problem with any of them. I know how to groom them, like professionally groom the Cockers for
They're
show.
so beautiful. And I remember this one yard, and this
Yeah,
little Cocker
black
Spaniel
one.
would sit on the corner, wait for his master to come home from work, every single day. And wouldn't go on the sidewalk or anywhere else. It would just stay right there. And it was so cute.
Yeah, they are. My friend's got
Yeah, and
one
then I
named
heard-
Gracie.
Oh,
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I think, a shark can do a lot more damage. Yeah, because I don't think a dolphin would do it actually, like I said, on purpose. Like I've heard stories of like little kids falling into the water, and so that it didn't drown, the dolphin went over and got underneath it and would bounce it, so that it could keep it above water. And the child ended up with some battered and bruises, but it wasn't done on purpose. The dolphin was saving the child's life.
wow.
So, yeah,
That's cool.
yeah, that's what I thought. That's so neat that they're smart enough to figure that stuff out, and they are.
Telling you not to go near dolphins.
I know. And you know what? I'm sorry, people. If you listen to everything the government tells you, well, then I can't guarantee that you're all that bright.
Usually when they tell you not to, that means that you should probably go
Means do it.
check it out. Check it out.
Always think opposite.
Yeah, see
we
what
shouldn't say that, because now they're going to tell us to do good things. We're going to be you're lying. We're not going to do that.
no, just to go check it out. You don't have to
Yeah.
don't. Okay, well let me see if I don't want to for myself.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Like in a court of law, that's hearsay. I need
Do you understand? Nope. Sure do not.
Nope, gotta go find out for myself. Thank you.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like,
And I don't know. We're going to talk about it tomorrow a little more, but I kind of feel like government and military are very separate entities a little bit, and so we'll discuss that a little bit, because
I think that the Pentagon is more
and the military,
government.
right? No, it's more
They're
the
more
military.
government. No, they're more government than the military. I think the military has their own stuff. because the government, look, the Pentagon has in it a branch for Hollywood. Why? CIA stakes up in there. Well, because they have something to do with Hollywood. Do you think that these Hollywood writers and all these movies that come out, that those people thought about that themselves?
No.
No, no, no.
Yeah,
The
right.
CIA
know.
said, you need
Yeah.
to make a movie about this, and this needs to happen in this movie, and this needs to happen in this movie. And then they get the writers involved, and they go with it. Why on earth would the Pentagon, that's supposed to be head of our military, have a board and office spaces for Hollywood? Why?
Because that's where they tell their truth, sort of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be it.
I mean, they have to live by universal law as well. So they do have to tell the truth, but they don't have to tell you directly.
They tell you the truth without actually telling you the truth.
Right.
Mm.
They got to figure it
They
out.
show
And
it
then
to you.
that's why they call it entertainment, because it's actually their entertainment. They're
Yeah.
entertained watching us all go pay for it and go, oh, that was a pretty good movie. You know, oh, geez, it seems kind of real. You know,
Look at all that money we're bringing in there, Bob.
I mean, like a lot of people have been talking, what is it, Minority Report? They've been comparing something to that lately. I feel like this is that happening right now. And it's just
Yeah.
like, huh. That's maybe
then
why
they
they
get
put the movie out, because they were telling you what's coming.
Then they get the fear of people when they think about that. Like if they see a movie a long time ago and things are making sense now that that movie had, then they start thinking about movies like what was that one movie that the world went to shit, meteors hit it all over the place, and
There's a
people
lot of
ran.
those.
Yeah, so then they think about movies that they make, like when they made The Walking Dead,
Armageddon
Okay.
or something.
Armageddon, and people
Oh, the
start thinking, oh my God, is that going to happen? Well, I'm going to tell you what I did last week. I had never watched The Walking Dead. I never watched it when it came out. It was just something I just didn't watch.
I don't
Not
watch
that,
zombie movies.
you know, well, I decided to go ahead and turn it on and watch it. I've gotten to season 4. And then I'm thinking about how long that series ran. As a matter of fact, I think it still is running. And I'm thinking to myself, how can they have something run so long when there's no end to the means? Okay. So are they trying to tell people that all that's going to be left on this planet is The Walking Dead and a few small people?
No, that's their
I mean,
dream.
Is that what
That's
they're doing? Hi, Brett.
Sometimes they
Yeah,
like
that
to
is
put
their dream.
their dreams out there.
I mean,
Yeah.
they're building bunkers underground like mad everywhere.
Oh yeah.
So-
Oh, and those things that they're adding. Oh God, what do they call those? They're putting them above ground. They're calling them like communication centers.
What, the data centers?
Yes. Texas does not want them here.
No, Michigan doesn't.
and I believe
But they're building the largest one, the next town over from me.
Yeah, we're not. Governor Abbott's already said no. All of Texas say no. But
Dang it! I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to like try to
What were
save
you-
up some money and buy my own
What were you
car
gonna
and
say?
move down there.
Oh, I think that zombie disease is a fungus that grows off of the Nephilim or something that I remember hearing or reading
Yeah.
about. I don't know whether that would be true or not, but it's just gives you an idea of like maybe where this thing came from or if they have it.
I wouldn't doubt that. But they're saying that those things that they're building are to pull our water from here to be able to run the water, the underground cities. So they basically can take our water and we pay for it.
Well, yeah, that's the whole thing is because they heat up, so they take water. And then Greg Braden was talking about it. It's the artificial intelligence. So, like our brain and stuff,
Yeah.
and we need water. So, that's what they're building is artificial intelligence, the brain, and water. But it's also going to pay attention and, you think your freedom's like,
Yeah.
it's really going to be gone with that because it's going to
Yeah.
collect everything. Even if you don't even have a phone and you're out in the woods, whatever you got in your system, they can read it and they can date it. And so, yeah, your Wi-Fi's and all that's going to be tracking and showing. Even President Trump talked about it.
Ooh,
That Comcast, it's got a thing that's going to be reading your whole corporeal body.
look at that. Look at what Brent just said. Ooh,
Yeah,
good
yeah, he's
point,
right.
Brent. Good point.
I agree with you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very good
it's
point.
Oh yeah, that's true, huh? And there's something behind that too, and I, and it has to do with Les Wexner and Ohio and different things like that, and I believe Bill Gates buying up all the farms, and forcing everybody to move and get out so they can put these data centers there.
that's
Well,
yeah.
and they want to put them here in Texas because we have, and I'm not telling this so that everybody can move here because you can't move here. We're closed. We don't have any more room. But we have so much open, we have so much open property that nobody owns. You know, they
They soak up
and
a lot of
so,
energy though, and they raise
oh
your energy.
yeah, that's right. It would raise our energy bills, raise our water bills, raise everything. No,
Yep.
Yeah,
no.
it's going to be happening here. Yay. It's one of the largest ones because I learned about it and like I said, I don't pay attention. I was down in Ohio and they're fighting against it. And I'm like, what the heck is that? And I come home,
Yeah,
get
sometimes sure you
online.
have to pay
I'm in
attention.
Ohio.
Sometimes you have to pay attention.
I really don't have
Wexner.
tolerance for that
I
kind of
know.
I don't. I mean, like my
I know.
Facebook is all spiritual, pretty much. A lot of Native Americans and
Well,
entrepreneurs. I
I know.
Les Wexner though, he's the one that gave Jeffrey Epstein his start with $500 million and used to
Yeah.
own
Yeah.
Victoria's Secret and different things, but now he's investing into these
Yep.
energy or data centers.
Now, see,
Hmm.
maybe it wasn't him. Maybe it was his CEO. Because I was going to say, I thought the guy who was in charge of Victoria's Secrets jumped out a window at a big, huge building a long time ago.
You didn't
A few
lie to
years
their
ago.
secret?
Yeah, yeah. You want to know why they're a secret?
Because most of those gals aren't gals.
I know Victoria's Secret.
Every guy that I dated, when they started coming out, it's like I thought about it, or some of my guy friends of like, come on, it's like, all right. Now it's like, I wish I could run into them. Wow, you're crushing on a dude that looks like a
Oh,
lady.
a lot of the ones in the Playboy magazines too.
I
Oh
know.
wow.
Not all, but a lot of them.
Aerosmith sang the song years ago.
Yep, he did. And okay, people be people. You do you, boo. Okay, but however,
Don't be
when I
sneaky.
when I used to work in Nevada, there was a man who was a beautiful woman when he was dressed up. And he used to pick up guys in the bar. And one day I happened to stop him at the door. And I said, you are going to tell that guy what you really are, right? Well, he'll find out. I'm like, no, honey. Tell him here. That way, when he goes to attack you and beat your ass, we can jump in and save you.
Yeah.
You tell him in a hotel room he's liable to kill you.
Yeah, that's dangerous
Don't
too.
hide that. If it's what you want to do, you do you. If you find people that are into that, hey, that's you. Go do you. But don't lie about it, because that's what gets people hurt.
Yeah,
Okay.
tricking people, and that's
Yeah.
like Victoria. It's because like, all right, being a female, you kind of like, wow, because some of those guys are hot, good looking women style, and it's like, dang. And then when you find out then I get even worse, like, wait a minute, how come you can like?
Yeah, some of them. And this one that we used to hang out at the bar, drop dead gorgeous.
Yeah.
I can see why a man would have thought that he was a real woman.
Yeah.
And didn't have a sex change or anything. But gorgeous.
No, some of the Victoria's Secrets don't either. They just get the upper changed and they still keep the lower.
And because I had seen him walk in one time with a black eye, and I thought, uh-oh. And so that one night, he was over there with a group of guys, and they were buying him drinks, and they were all over him. And he went to walk out the door, I guess, to go to the bathroom, was coming back, and I stopped him. None of your business. No, but it's my business to go scrape you up off of the ground after they beat you to a pulp.
Yeah, especially if it's that's bad. Never mind. I'll keep my mouth.
Yeah. So I think that if you're gonna tell any of them, you tell them here. That way we can at least save you.
Yeah.
Because these were big guys.
Yeah.
I mean,
They
I
all
wouldn't
thought
mess
they were
with them
gonna
by
have fun
myself.
in
I'd
the-
have had to call the rest of the guys to come up and take care of it, because they probably would have just flipped me out of the way with one finger. But, it's a dangerous game.
Yeah.
But they think that it's fun to play that game. Like, let's see what we can get away with. Because then if you get beat up, then they turn around and call the cops and press charges. No, I'm sorry. That shouldn't work like that either.
No, why would you want to go get beat up? Unless I don't know. Maybe they like that. And
Could be. I don't know. Just like a little hair pulling, ass slapping a little bit myself, but still. That's a little bad.
you never know. World's a little twisted.
Right?
Twisted sister.
So yeah, I don't know, man. What
Yep.
I can say is now here's another thing, Chad, when it comes to end times. They know that playbook. So
Yeah.
what if, here's a food for thought. What if they're trying to make it look like end
I think so
times?
too. I
Think
think they're
For a
trying to
reset.
fortify it. Yep. I
For
think
a
they're trying to
reset.
fortify it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so, because a lot of people that weren't Christians, that are famous and well known, have all of a
Mhm.
sudden become Christians.
Yeah. So
Seriously.
what if they're doing it because everything has to go by a playbook, and you cannot tell me that half of these Satanism people have not read a Bible. Okay, because I'll tell you, I know they have. Because they need to know what the opposite of thinks. When I was growing up in the Catholic Church, they always used to tell us that nobody, even the adults, don't ever read Book of Revelations. Don't read it. It will corrupt you. They didn't want us to read the Book of Revelations because it shows the devil loses. Satan loses. That's why they did not want us to read it.
Really? They didn't teach you that?
They would not allow us. It wasn't until I was a grown adult and said, okay, yeah, hey, I'm going to read this. I want to know what it says.
I
But
I
going
knew
to
about
a-
that when I was younger. I mean, I didn't go to
but
church
going,
all the time, but I did.
yeah,
And I was like, man, that's scary. I didn't like it.
but going to a Catholic church, they used to tell you all the time you should never read the book of Revelations.
Wow, I didn't know that. Dang.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So I don't know, man. This world is just you know what? I could only wish it was like the Truman Show. We could just walk out to the desert and start peeling pieces of whatever's out there off and just look at them and go, you know what? You people are just stupid. Walk away. Because this is just ridiculous. Some of the things that they're doing. But I've often thought about that. You know, when everybody talks about we're in end times, we're in end times. Now, wait a minute. Hold the phone. They know the playbook.
Now you can manufacture end times.
Yeah. Yeah. And
You got
they know
end
the
times for
playbook. They
the
know what people
people
are
that
going to look for.
they got end times for the people that are looking for it. They got UFO stuff coming for all those that have been in
Yep.
the UFO stuff.
Yep.
Um,
I'm kind of surprised they don't have Bigfoot walking up to everybody in the streets,
Bigfoot wouldn't
introducing
do that.
himself. You know, I mean, I'm
Bigfoot
just
wouldn't do that.
well, no, but they could manufacture that too. I'm just saying. But you know, I mean, it you never know what to believe anymore. And then now we've got AI and AI making videos and AI making go. What do you believe anymore? You can't believe anything anymore.
No, it's actually the age of discernment is what
Well,
it is.
yes.
You have to have discernment. I
Yep.
knew that this was coming too. Yeah, I mean, didn't know like how or what, but
Right.
it's the age of discernment now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the best thing is to go, like Jesus said, go within. All the answers are within. So everything outside,
Yeah.
take it with a grain of salt.
We actually, people, we are God's temple. Us.
Yeah.
We. So,
And start thinking about your material attachments a little bit too, because it's a material world, and I don't believe we're on heaven, on the side of heaven here in this physical realm. I believe this is Satan's world, you know, and
oh,
his
it
universe.
is. It is.
And so we have a different, different things. So don't get too attached to it. Don't feel like you're obligated to save it. Don't feel like you're obligated to, just start losing your attachment to things a little bit. I've been working on that.
Well, the Buddhists teach that too. No attachments. Everything.
Well,
is
the Gnostics do too, and they also eat their shit to prove their point. And I ain't gonna do that,
Yeah, I ain't gonna do that.
Saying, like,
I'm okay with losing.
So I'm like, I'm just gonna work on just my basic attachments, so that I don't.
I'm okay with losing a lot of things, but you touch my dog, and I'm gonna shoot your kneecaps off.
Yeah.
Period.
Well,
Period.
you don't
touch my
actually have
dog.
to. I was like praying on that and stuff because something had happened. And I'm like, why is it that everything, because I know we're not supposed to be stripped with completely nothing.
Right.
That's
yeah.
them saying
not
you'll have
attached
nothing,
to
you'll
it.
own nothing, and you'll be happy. And it's like, no,
And you will eat
I'm not,
crickets.
Yeah.
I'm not happy. Eat
No.
crickets.
And they're done that when I was a kid, and I didn't like it then, and I wouldn't like it now.
Gross, no. I
You know
don't
what's
like
gonna be
it.
nice?
Freaks me out.
Our pitchfork and torch days when we get to go knock
Yeah.
on their doors and kick them out of their mansions and move in.
I wouldn't move
I
in.
would
You know what
not
I would
wanna
do?
be in
I would
there.
set it. I would set it on
Oh, I
fire
know it'd be
in front of
creepy,
them.
huh?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
would.
Creepy.
God only
You wouldn't
knows what
know
you'd
what went
find
on
in
in
there.
those mansions.
That's
Probably
right.
some nasty stuff.
Yup. But yeah, Chad, we're gonna. What do you think? Our next show is going to be on these missing scientists. Okay. And we are going to talk about what they've worked on. I do believe I found a video that goes one by one, and it talks about who they were and what they worked on. I gotta find it. I put it in my things. I know I'll find it. I got time. But I think we're gonna do that. How is Saturday night for you guys?
Yeah.
You guys think Saturday night's okay? Okay. We'll do that Saturday night. And we're going to talk about them. And then I'll have Sunday to recuperate before I drag back in there with Glenn for the week. But oh, my allergies are killing me tonight. My nose is itching, everything. Like, oh, my eyes keep watering. I can't stop them. They're like a hose.
This used to be a napkin.
I'm gonna dehydrate. I'm gonna dehydrate myself out of my eyeballs. Okay. So, but yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna hit up the missing scientist and what all they were working on. Some of them were working on some pretty interesting things.
Right.
Yeah. And I think I got a video or two of some of them that just before they passed away or came up missing, they had said that they gave that spill, I am not suicidal, I enjoy life, and yada yada yada. So
Chad sent
We'll
me
talk
one.
about her. It's debatable. It's debatable with her a little bit. But
That
yeah.
one, yeah, the gal that you sent me the video of
Oh,
her
the
talking.
Amy?
before.
Her husband was
What was
beating
her name?
her and she had financial trouble, so it's hard to say.
Was that the Amy one? Her dad her dad was
And from NASA.
yeah.
And he said scientists die. That was his response.
Yeah.
Scientists die.
Scientists die.
I mean,
His daughter
everybody
took
dies on the planet, but that's not right to say.
Oh, when she shoots herself in the head, I know.
Yeah.
Or somebody did. I mean, we'll look into it because it's interesting. I mean,
But what gets me is that's been happening since 2025.
Yeah.
Before then, and
November.
you didn't hear anything about it. But now, once again, here we are with look over here, not over there.
and there's 9 Chinese scientists that went missing in the last 3 weeks too.
Oh, yeah,
but
yeah.
it's hard to get. You can't get information on it because they don't tell you anything about China, and they don't have their internet open. But I'm going to try and
they
see
gotta be the most closed-lipped people in the world. And they're like, nope, can't say it.
They're not good. Yeah. So
But yeah.
what is going on? Yeah, we'll see if it's missing 411. We'll see if it's what this epidemic that we're predicting is going to come. That they're planning for. It's something's up though, so we got to think about it together.
I think that they
After
are. They're stirring to do something kind of big, and
something.
they're gonna freak everybody out. And then, like I said, here now we have this thing going on with this ship, and people died, and now they're sending people like the people that were on there. They went to Georgia, didn't stay the gestational period to see if they were gonna get sick or not. They just let them go home, and so it's going to be everywhere. No, blow that ship up. We're not falling for this again. We're not doing it. Knock it off.
Yeah.
But is it true? Did it really happen?
True.
Is it just another
That's
made-up story?
And you know what's funny is I've been watching some of the people that they interview on the ship, and it seems like they're sitting there reading a thing in front of them, cards or something.
Hollywood. Scripts, actors.
Yeah. Are they is that fake and they're just pulling this off to, do it again just like 2020, I mean, come on.
Crisis actors?
Crisis actors, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Think about it before you panic, people. Do not panic. If you feel unsafe, then stay in your house. I mean, I stay in mine anyways. That ain't no big deal. I don't care.
I can't stay in my house, and I feel safe. I like to go out.
Well, yeah, but you go out for walks in the woods and different stuff like that. I don't really associate with too many people. I've had 3 new neighbors in the last 3 months. I just got new ones again. It's like, I don't even know these people. I don't care. And I share a wall with them.
I like people, but I don't associate with that many. They don't.
Yeah, I used to like people. I only associate with very few. I like the ones I do associate with. But I used to be a social butterfly. Not anymore. I've cut my wings. Now I'm a snail or something. All right, guys. Any last words before we go?
No. Sorry. Thank you, everyone, and I apologize for not being here last time.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
okay. The
We
night
weren't
before,
on
yeah.
last night, or you mean?
Oh,
the night
last
before.
time, I mean, sorry, the other day.
That's okay.
We had fun. Brenda
Hey,
and I, we did
things
it.
happen.
We made it.
We just sat here and we bull crapped about things, and we held a conversation, and yeah, it was all right.
Yeah.
So,
We
and I
missed
figured
you, though.
we went ahead and went live, and I said, we'll just go live. He'll probably pop in. Cause like any before, when I would do the shows with like Tom and Penny and all of them, the men were always late. They always came in after the show started. So I got used to that, and I was like, he'll probably pop in while we're on the show.
Yep.
Had me fooled. For good. Had me fooled. So, but all right, everybody. Well, we are going to go ahead and call it a night. We will be back Saturday night. And hopefully we won't be so sniffly, all of us. So, poor Chad. I know poor Chad's trying to get over his little cold. I mean, well, it's that time of the year. So, But thank you, everybody, for coming in. And everybody have a good rest of the night. Have fun tomorrow. Y'all be safe. And please, like always, be kind to one another unless you don't have to anymore. I'm going to start throwing that in there because lately it's been that way. So, all right, everybody, have a good night.
You ever wonder what's real and what's just smoke in the wind? Down here in Texas, we've heard the whispers. They say a president fell in Dallas and the truth got buried with him. They say men walked on the moon, but some folks swear it was all lights and cameras. There's talk of secret deals in desert towns and flying saucers hiding where the tumbleweeds roll. They say the truth is out there, but out here under these white Texas skies, we know the truth ain't free. It's locked up tight